Amanda, I want to play a game.
Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. As you can see from the title, today's video is going to be my top favorite plot twists in horror movies. There's nothing that I like more than watching specifically a horror film and to be surprised by a plot twist. Something that I enjoy a lot, so I decided to do this list. But when I was doing it, I realized that there were a lot of plot twists that I really liked. So I had to narrow down the list to 10, but at the end of the video, I'm going to be giving honorable mentions of other films that have plot twists that I like. But this list is just going to be 10. Of course, there are going to be spoilers in this video, so if you have not watched any of these films, I'm going to be leaving the timestamps with the title of the film so you can skip that part in case that you don't want to hear the spoilers and get the experience ruined. So, saying that disclaimer announcement, let's get into the video. Now let's start with the basics. What is a plot twist? By definition, a plot twist is an unsuspected occurrence or turn of events in the story that completely changes the direction or outcome of the plot from the direction it was likely to go. Essentially, it's when the story is going into one direction and then it goes, nope, you know what, we're going this way. And 9 times out of 10, we don't see it coming, which in my opinion makes things even better. Because for me, when I predict what is going to be the plot twist, it's like, ugh. But this plot twist, they shock me to the core. So this is why they're here, and this is why we're talking about them. They aren't on a specific order, but definitely the ones that I'm going to be talking at the end are the ones that I like the most. And I'm going to open with Ghost Ship. This film follows a salvage crew that discovers a long-lost 1962 passenger ship floating lifeless in a remote region of the Bering Sea, and soon notices that its long-dead inhabitants may still be on board. This film is not great. It has one of the best opening scenes in horror, that's for sure, but the story is not the best. But it does has a plot twist. I have rewatched this film a couple times because it's one of my actual favorites, and there's not really a detail or something that foreshadows the plot twist. And the plot twist here is that a crew member that is called Jack Furman, he is in reality a demonic spirit of the deceased sinner, and he's tasked with provoking people to sin. And he alerts the salvage team to the ship to repair it because the same ship, when he was working in 1962, he posed as the sole survivor of another ship. So he got himself into the ship and then continued his work of capturing souls to send them to hell. And the film ends with him succeeding because he kills all the salvage team except from the protagonist. She's rescued. And the last thing that she sees is him with her crew into another ship, and we know that his work is far from being over. This is a plot twist that once again you don't see coming, and although the film may not be good, I do feel that it's worth watching at least once, mostly because of the opening scene, because it's brutal, but it's so good. So maybe you can even go to YouTube and search Ghost Ship opening scene, because I'm not going to be putting footage because it's a little bit graphic and I don't want this video to be taken down or something, because that sometimes happens. Ghost Ship is a film that I have watched quite a lot in my life because it's one that I saw a lot when I was a child. So it's about film that I enjoy a lot, so that's why it's one of my favorites in general. Next one is one of my top 10 favorite horror movies ever, and is House of Wax of 2005. This is a film that I will defend until the end of time. I don't care, I will defend it. For me, it is actually enjoyable. It's genius. It has some foreshadow moments that I think that are so genius, hence why it's in this list. And this film follows a group of teens that are unwittingly stranded near a strange wax museum and soon must fight to survive and keep from becoming the next exhibit. And here the plot twist, they're actually two, and we have some foreshadows, but still they don't really reveal, especially the last one. It's like, what? The first time I was like, bam, I cannot believe it. So essentially the plot twist here is, the first one is that every single one of the wax sculptures are actually people that were killed by the Sinclair brothers because they're trying to continue their mother's wax sculpture work. but with the twist that it's with corpses on the inside. So they make this town look like it's with people, but in reality they are wax sculptures, and they have been doing this for a long time, and every single time that someone new comes to the town, because it's not even on the map, they're going to kill it and they're going to make it part of the exhibition. That's something that happens to the crew. But the second plot twist is that they are actually three brothers. This is revealed at the end, and it's that the couple, they had twins, the Artis and Claire's, that we see throughout the film, but they had another son that is the one that helps them to bring more people into the town, and is who actually got the group into the town. First time that I saw this film, I was like, what? Because this is the one that you don't really see coming. There's no foreshadow. They never mention a third son, never. And we don't even have his name. We know that his name is Lester, but they don't really mention, and his last name will be St. Clair. But once again, I have never watched something that says his name, and I have rewatched this film. Oh god, like I have the poster. So that's how much I love this film, and to this day I still love it. I even did a project for my film class in college, because I took a class of film and literature, and our last project was to do exactly this. I had to do a review but in video, and I decided to do it on House of Wax because of all the foreshadows that I had. The film is amazing. I don't care what anyone says. It's great. If you want to watch it, go and do it. It's pure early 2000s, and I love it. The acting may not be the best, but still, I think that the story is interesting. I really like the soundtrack, something that I love, and the effects, they're very, very good. So you should give it a try if you haven't already. The next one is one of my top 5 favorite horror movies ever, and is The Orphanage, or in Spanish, El Orfanato. This film, I'm going to always describe it as a sad but beautiful ghost story. Now, this one follows a woman that is bringing her family back to her childhood home, which used to be an orphanage for handicapped children. Before long, her son starts to communicate with an invisible new friend. I could say that at the first 30-40 minutes of the film, her son goes missing, and she spends 6 months looking for her son. And while she's looking, we have some ghost encounters, and they are kids. And it's revealed at the end, this is so damn sad, that her son was in fact inside of the house the whole time. He was in the secret room that she had no idea that existed. And when she's looking for him the day that he goes missing, she opens a closet and she sees some things that they get on the floor. So she pushed them back into the wall. And what she did with that is that she accidentally locked her son into that room. And because he was sick and he needed to get some medication, he dies. And he falls down the stairs of the room, and he's on the floor. His corpse has been on the floor for 6 months. And the thing is that we hear him die, because that first night she hears something on the walls. And when she puts her head, she hears something like falling. But she believes that it's just her mind, because she thinks that she's going crazy because she has been looking all day for her son. She broke her leg. She's having a stressful day. So you can also think that maybe there's something paranormal happening here. But it was her son all along. It's sad, especially that scene, because of her reaction, because her screams are so raw. And you can really feel her emotions, her sadness, her distraught, her anger, because she realizes that it was kind of her fault. Of course, she didn't want to kill her son, but it's so sad. My voice is so damn sad. But it's a film that I love with all my heart. And once again, this is something that you don't see coming from nowhere. Nothing foreshadows that it is her son, the one that is there. Not, of course, until the end that everything kind of plays, and then we have the flashbacks and everything gets together. This is a beautiful story. The director, he is the same director that did The Society of the Snow, or La Sociedad de la Nieve, that was Netflix film from last year, based on the airplane crash. It's a very good film. That one, The Side of the Snow, is not horror, but just saying that if you watch it, that one, he's the one that also did The Orphanage. He's a very good director. I really like his work. So if you haven't watched The Orphanage yet, you definitely should. I have talked about this film so many times already, but I just can't shut up about it because I love it so much. Such a good plot twist. Sad, so good. Getting into another Spanish film because The Orphanage is Spanish. We have The Skin I Live In or La Piel que Habito. This film, damn, the first time that I saw it is marked more as a thriller rather than horror, just in case, but I do still consider that has some horror elements, so for me it's horror adjacent. So good. This one blew my mind. Now, this one follows a brilliant plastic surgeon that is haunted by past tragedies, creates a type of synthetic skin that withstands any kind of damage. His guinea pig, a mysterious and volatile woman who holds the key to his obsession. The plot twist is that he, as a plastic surgeon, he wanted to experiment with people doing trans surgeries. But of course, he cannot do that. But he succeeds with his experiments because the chain of events was that his wife committed suicide in front of their daughter. She was singing a song before, and her daughter, because of the trauma, reacts bad when she hears the song again, but she hears the song, she is with a guy called Vicente, and they are about to do it, and they are in the business. She hears the song, so she panics, and because he doesn't know what to do, he slaps her, but he slaps her so hard that she gets unconscious. So what he does is that he tries to arrange her clothes and he leaves, and without the proper context, this can look like he was trying to do something else without her consent because she's now unconscious on the floor. But the surgeon saw him, and because it's his daughter, he goes behind the man, he kidnaps Vicente, and he turns him into a woman called Vera. He does the whole surgery. He turns him into a full woman, but not just any woman, a replica of his dead wife. And it's something that I was like, what? I did not saw that coming. Once again, this is more of a thriller rather than horror, but I do feel that it fits. So if you have never watched this one, once again, The Skin That I Live In, La Piel que Habito, protagonized by Antonio Banderas. Very good. I really like Spanish horror and Spanish movies in general. I think that they're very good, but Spanish horror, there's just something about it that those films, they just hit different. So if you have the chance to watch this one, please do it. It's good. It may not be for everyone, but I do feel that it deserves a good chance because that plot twist is good. Although right now that I'm telling you, of course, it's not going to hit the same, but if you have watched it, then you know. The next one is one of my personal favorites, and it is The Uninvited. This one is even a comfort horror movie for me. This one follows Anna that returns home after a stint in a mental hospital. Her recovery is jeopardized by her father's new girlfriend and ghastly visions of her dead mother. What happened here is that Anna's mother died on a fire accident. She was in bed because she was sick, and the little house that she's in, because she's separated from the house with the girls, because Anna has a sister and her father, and the nurse that turns out to be the girlfriend, she dies alone, right? Anna returns from the mental hospital and she doesn't want anything to do with the girlfriend. And she starts to plot with her sister a way to bring her down, and then they start to investigate and they find information that most likely Rachel, that is the girlfriend, could be a killer. So they do this whole thing and Alex kills her. And her father wasn't home, and when he gets home he asks Anna what happened. And when Anna tells him that Alex did it, that Rachel was a killer, he's like, what are you talking about? Alex is dead. The plot twist is that Alex has been dead the whole time. And when they do the flashbacks is when you realize that they never address directly Alex. They are only talking to Anna, but the way that they play it, it works because they don't really need it to specifically talk with Alex. So Alex was dead the whole time because she died with the mother. She was with her mother when the fire happened, and because it was an explosion, they didn't make it. Then she also killed one of her friends, and he saw her that night because the accident was Anna's fault, because she took gasoline from this barrel that was next to the house. She was going to bring it to burn the big house because she saw her father with the nurse, that is the girlfriend, so was cheating on their mother. She was pissed, so she took the gasoline, but she didn't close it properly, and because it was a candle, it burns, and of course it explodes with Alex and the mother. But because of the trauma, she didn't remember anything, so she didn't knew how everything happened. But he saw her because he was following her that night, and he told her that he knew she kills him. But of course she doesn't remember, and what we see at first is that he just appeared dead on the water. And at last, of course, she's the one that kills Rachel. And Rachel, she changed her name because she was trying to get away from an abusive boyfriend, not because she was a killer. And this is the best part. Is that Anna has to be returned to the mental institution, and her neighbor turns, when she closes the door, we see the name, and it's the name of the killer. And this is when we see that they all plot about the killer. It was in her head because she was living with her the whole time in the mental institution. That's the last shot of the film. I was like, what? That's the worst part. Now, this film is a remake from The Tale of Two Sisters. It's a pretty good one. But this one, The Uninvited, is a film that I could rewatch 100 times and I will never get bored. It may not be excellent, I do admit that, but it's worth watching 100%. The plot twist is great. And when you rewatch it, once you know how everything plays, it's like you can really see how they never address directly Alex. But it's a detail that at first I didn't put much attention on it, but everything works at the end, so I think that it was brilliant. And once again, this is a comfort horror film for me, so if you haven't watched it, definitely go and do it. Maybe you will regret it, maybe not, I am not sure, but just give it a chance, you maybe enjoy it. The next one is one that shocks everyone, no exceptions, and is The Others. This one follows in 1945, immediately following the end of the Second World War, a woman who lives with her two photosensitive children on her darkened old family estate in the Channel Islands becomes convinced that the home is haunted. What I love about this is that the film foreshadows the ending right at the beginning. The intro credits, they have some images, they are foreshadowed for the ending. This is something similar to The Sixth Sense when it comes to the fact that it's right in front of you, but there's no way for you to project or see it. The Sixth Sense is not horror, but goddamn, that plot twist still blows my mind. But The Others is that all the time we think that the house is haunted and that something is on it and they need to get out. But it's the whole way around, and it's that the mother and the children are actually the ghosts. They are the ones haunting the house. And when everything switches and we see how the house actually looks, it's like, what? They have been the ghosts the whole time. So what happened was that her husband died during the war. She kills the children and then commits suicide. But when she does that, she wakes up and she thinks that it was all a nightmare. So she doesn't register that she has been dead for God knows how long. And a cool detail about this film is that all the time we see that the house has fog around it and it's very dark and gloomy. Once the secret and the plot twist is revealed, everything changes. And because now the kids, they aren't photosensitive to the sun, they can open the windows and the light comes and the fog is gone. It's like revealing everything and like lifting the veil. And I thought that was such a cool detail. This film is very, very good. It's Nicole Kidman. She is amazing. This is a film that took me by surprise just as much as The Sixth Sense. That much, because The Sixth Sense, I remember the first time that I saw it. If you have never watched The Sixth Sense, I am not going to say anything else, because that one, goddamn, to this day is a film that I watch. It's like, how the hell I could be so full, but it is hard to predict. And this one too, but this one is so good because this one is a ghost story, but a really, really good one. I don't I don't know if it could be scary. It has some moments that could be a little bit creepy, but it's 100% worth watching. Like this, of the majority of the one I was talking, this one is indeed a very, very good one. The hype is 100% deserve it, because this one very good. And now getting into the last four, and the ones that I love with all my heart and they blew my mind and I still love to this day because they are so goddamn effective, starting with Final Destination 5. This one follows during a bus ride with his colleagues to a corporate retreat. Sam experiences a horrifying vision. The suspended bridge that they are and many others are crossing starts to crumble around them. When his vision ends and almost immediately starts to come true, Sam takes quick action and saves a number of people, including his girlfriend Molly and his best friend Peter. However, the survivors soon find that death will not be denied. This film stars just like any other Final Destination film. It follows the same formula and everything until the end. This ending is so good. I love it with all my heart. What happened here is that Molly and Sam, they are going to Paris. And when they are on the flight, they hear something. And when Sam looks, he sees someone fighting with another guy. Someone called Alex. As Alex, the student from the first film that saw a premonition that his flight to Paris 180 was going to explode. Sounds familiar? Yes. This is the way that is revealed that Final Destination 5 is a prequel. This is happening before the events of the first film, but you don't know it until this moment because they never really specify the year. When I rewatched it, I realized that in fact the technology gave away a little bit, but I just didn't thought much about it at the first time that I saw it. And because Molly and Sam are on the flight and we know what is going to happen to this flight, they died here. And it becomes a full circle, and for me it was a perfect way to close the franchise because full circle, everything comes back to the beginning. So for me it's one of the most effective plot twists that have ever been in horror. I am not exaggerating. And I even did an edit that is no longer available here on my channel because I had to take it down by copyright, but it's available on my Instagram. I did a side-by-side of the scene because I wanted to look how accurate it was. 100%. The plane looked the same, the sound, what they're saying, the lines, everything. They played everything that is so damn smooth. So good. But of course this film is not going to have the same impact if you haven't watched the first one. I know for sure that if someone sits down to watch this one, because you don't really need to see them in order to understand them, probably he's going to see the ending is like, oh damn, they died, but it hits different when you have watched them, all of them, and then you watch this and it's like, what? So you just know what is going to happen and there's nothing that is going to stop it. So for me it's brilliant. Seriously, it's one of those endings that they stay with you and a plot twist that you don't see coming. There's no way, but it's so damn effective that it has aged very, very well. Final Destination 5, it's a very good one in the franchise. For me, the worst one is the fourth. For me, that's the worst. Final Destination 5 may not be excellent, but it's worth watching. The whole franchise in general is definitely worth watching, but this one hits different, especially when of course you have watched the first one. So I don't know of who was the idea, but you're a genius. Now the next one is Saw from 2004. This one follows two men that are awakened to find themselves on the opposite sides of a dead body, each with specific instructions to kill the other or face consequences. These two are the latest victims of Jigsaw Killer. Now the plot twists in the Saw franchise in general, they are always brutal. They always come with the best soundtrack. It's so epic and adds so much to the moment. When it comes to this specific film, the plot twist is that the dead body is in fact John Kramer, Jigsaw. And he has been there the whole time. He just took something to put himself to rest for a little bit, but the wound that he had was fake. And he tells to Adam, that is the guy that is still technically alive in the room, that he had a key the whole time, but when he wakes up, he lost it on the bathtub that he was in at the beginning. He shocks him and he leaves him to die. This is a plot twist that, once again, you don't see coming because we never see who is Jigsaw until that moment. So we have no idea who he is because of the voice on the recording is different. There's no way to recognize him at any moment. And for me, the music adds a lot. Once again, once you hear that, once you start hearing the score, you know that the plot twist is coming and it's going to be good. Saw is a franchise that I love in general, but Saw, this is a specific first film with that plot twist. Chef kisses. Seriously, so good. It's a film that I will never get tired of watching, and it still brings me chills and that same effect. So you know that is effective and has aged very well. If you haven't watched by now Saw, you should definitely do. You should definitely do. Saw X came out last year. It's also a very good one. The franchise, of course, not all of them are excellent, but it's 100% a worth-watching franchise. And getting into the last two, I have Orphan from 2009. This one follows a husband and wife who recently lost their baby, adopt a 9-year-old girl who is not nearly as innocent as she appears. This is one of those plot twists that are still being talked about because it's so damn good that is still shocking. Essentially, the girl, the 9-year-old girl, is called Esther. She is not a girl. She's a 33-year-old woman called Lena from Estonia. She has a rare hormonal disorder that makes her look like she's a young girl. So she used this as her advantage because she is violent and spent some part of her life on a mental institution. So she's dangerous. She has killed several people and she tries to kill her adopted family. The reveal scene is so good because we see how the actress, she starts to take off the makeup, but at the same time, of course, they added makeup to make her look old. So it's brilliant, and the actress, she's amazing, very convincing, she's creepy as hell. And once again, to this day, this is one of those plot twists that you still talk about and it stays with you. No foreshadow. There's no way for you to know that she's an older woman, that she has something weird happening 100%, but that she's an old woman, well, 33, she's an adult, never in a million years. And we had the prequel, of course it doesn't hit the same because we see her trying to be more childish and it's not the same, but still worked a little bit. But this one, so good. It's, once again, it aged so damn well. It still works. To end the list with my favorite plot twist in horror, and is Dead Silence. This one follows after his wife meets a grisly end. Jamie Ashton returns to his hometown of Ravens Fair to find answers. His investigation leads to the ghost of a ventriloquist named Mary Shaw, who seems to have ties to his entire family tree. Now, what I like about this film is that we don't have one but two plot twist. The first one is his wife was killed at the beginning. She was pregnant. This is something that we don't know until we hear why she was killed. Mary Shaw killed her because she was pregnant. Mary Shaw was killing every single one of the members of the family of Jamie as revenge because when she was alive, she killed one of his relatives. And as revenge, the family kills her. So what she does as revenge is that she starts killing every single one of them, including his father that we see at the film. But this is the second plot twist, and it's that he has been dead the whole time. He's an actual doll, and he has been manipulated by the perfect doll that Mary Shaw created before she died, and she is the one that has been doing the whole work. And we see by flashbacks how everything actually worked it out, and because she was a ventriloquist, it was pretty easy for her to manipulate him without having, of course, to move her mouth. So brilliant. And at the end, he gets killed by Mary Shaw, and her plan succeeds of killing every single one of his relative and family members because she wanted to kill them all as revenge for killing her, although she killed a member of their family. So it's revenge and revenge thing, but it's a plot twist that, once again, you don't see coming. Not a mile away. And not one but two plot twists, and they are so good. Dead Silence is a film that hurts me so much, that is so underrated and had bad ratings. when I feel that is worth watching, that is good, that is creepy, it's scary. I could say that it's scary. I know that a lot of people that hate dolls, so for me this film is scary. I didn't get scared, but I do acknowledge that it's scary. And the soundtrack is also so good. Now you're going to be seeing on the screen my honorable mentions. These films, they have plot twists that I love, but of course I cannot get into details about every single one of them. I'm going to be here talking for hours. My back already hurts. I have been filming already 37 minutes. I don't know how long this video is going to end up being, but right now I have been filming for 37 minutes. My back hurts, my throat, I need to get some water. I could be talking here for a long time because I like talking about horror films, but I'm not going to do that to you. I don't want to get you bored. But you still have on the screen the films that have plot twists that I do really like. And with this, I end the video. Thank you so much for watching if you lasted until here, because I just know that at the end this is going to be a long video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below which ones are yours. Favorite plot twists? Did you know about this? Once again, I'm sorry if I spoiled you something and I ruined you the experience. That wasn't my intention. You can always skip something and then return and hear everything else. But let me know down below which one is your favorite plot twist, that one that really shocked you to the core, has to stay with you. Let me know down below, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.
Game over.